The three pillars you have to master are training, diet, and recovery. If you screw up one of these pillars, that's going to completely throw you off. Obviously, you need to sleep, train hard, eat well. I'm going to be addressing things that most people are doing that no one talks about that's screwing up one of these pillars. Let's get into the first pillar, training. I made this mistake of training to failure for every single set. I plateau for 6 months. I just wasted my time in the gym. I feel like 2 to 1 reps in reserve. It's going to build that muscle mass. But trade-off is like build that fatigue so you can continue progressing. That's something you got to keep in mind about training. So exercise selection, what exercise should you do? The machines generate the least amount of fatigue. So if you're doing a barbell back, you're trying to focus on stabilizing that weight on your back. So that generates a lot of fatigue. And again, as a natural lifter trying to build a maximum amount of muscle, fatigue is your worst enemy. It's really gonna piss some of you off, but like a leg press, you can maximally push, you get your quads close to failure without having to worry about stabilizing. Another training principle that I use is I always use cuffs or straps. My forearm can be a limiting factor. When you're doing a back exercise or even a bicep exercise, I don't want to be limited by my grip. I want to be limited by my brachioradialis. Pull. I don't have to worry about holding it. So I can get the muscle I need close to failure. Training principle number X. I forgot the number, but rep ranges. Obviously my gains throughout the year have decreased. It's not as decreasing as I thought it would be. For every year I'm improving my training, I'm perfecting it. I'm pushing my natural limit higher. Educating yourself and learning like is important. Keep building progress. Easiest thing is to just hop on gear and just lift, right? I'm just kidding, guys, don't do that. Let's say you're doing 14 reps close to failure and you're doing 6 reps close to failure. The most stimulating parts of a set are the last 4 to 5 reps. So for the 12 reps, you're just doing 8 reps. And again, what are you building doing that 8 reps? It's building fatigue because you're just moving that weight. Like do like 4 to 7 reps. First rep you do is actually going to be more stimulating than the first rep you do in a set of 15. What are lengthened partials? Just do the lengthened part of a movement. About lengthened partials, that all the studies that look at it are on you lifters, and I have been preaching sometimes that lengthened partials are pretty good and cause more muscle growth. I should not have said that when there's no evidence in trained lifters. The thing about muscle growth you should work at lengthened or shortened is leverage. So for example, biceps have leverage in the lengthened positions. That's what you have to do. You need to recover the best and you stimulate the muscle the best. This is not training like a wuss, I promise. Started focusing on fatigue management and actually stimulating muscle the best I could. I felt like I had steroid-like results. You grow when you rest and recover, and when you manage fatigue like that, you will grow a lot. I mean, you can't tell me that set was training like a wuss. All right, last training principle we're going to talk about, training split. Honestly, the split that you can stick with and do every week is the best training split. In terms of optimizing muscle growth, I've been doing push-pull legs like my whole life. Towards the tail end of my bodybuilding prep, I switched to a 5-day split, which was upper-lower rest, push-pull legs rest. And I did think I noticed more progress and more retention of muscle mass after I added that extra rest day. Be a 3-day full body or 4-day upper body being better than a push-pull leg. For every training day, you get a full rest day. And apparently that rest days allow you to work harder and recruit more motor units in every single one of your lifts. I'll tell you this, I switched to that upper-lower split leg. One, because I could use the extra time. I'm a college student, like I have work to do. I mean, I've never tried it before. I've just been running PPL like my whole life. But I'm not gonna say anything for sure yet because I'm gonna say something after I stuck to a split for like about, 6 months. But again, in general, the split that works the best is a split that you can stick with week by week. Like, guys, prove me wrong for anything. Like, I want to learn new things. I want to progress. I'll suck it up and I'll change what I've been doing wrong. That's what matters. Continuously progressing and getting all that muscle gain. Drop your ego, learn new things, admit you're wrong, and get bigger. We are done with learning about training, so now let's switch to diet. Also, confession, guys, I'm not actually 19. Throughout competition prep, I actually was 19 most of the part, and I made most of my shreddingness and my gains at 19. I am 20 right now. I just turned 20, but I mean, hey, 19, you know. Diet is probably the most important thing in terms of escaping that skinny fat route. It actually differs if you're a newbie lifter or if you're an experienced skinny fat. Let's say you're a newbie skinny fat, right? You can actually get away with going to a calorie surplus. So if you just start lifting and you're eating in a little surplus more than you have, body is going to want to build that muscle back. That takes calories. There's been studies of they take skinny fat people and then they give them more calories. They actually end up in a net deficit. They train, the muscle recovers, and that takes calories. So technically their net daily expenditure increases. They lose the fat as well to build muscle. Very sensitive to muscle growth. Like, your body's gonna shoot up that net calorie expenditure. So what if you're an experienced skinny fat lifter? It go on a cut or a mini cut. Shed off that fat, right? This is gonna poke some heads, but you do not ever in a bulk want to go above 15% body fat for guys and like what, 20% for women. The higher you go beyond that is not gonna benefit you in terms of like muscle growth. This is kind of a sidetrack, but when people are bulking, people are like, oh, I'm gonna reach 200, I'm gonna reach 220. They set a goal weight for themselves, which is a mistake, because you keep lifting like that, you keep increasing your calories until you reach your goal weight. You reach your goal weight, then how's your body composition looking? Probably not the best, right? Most of the time. So the goal should be to slightly increase your calories, consistently train and focus on progressively overloading. You can maximize muscle growth, probably like honestly 300, 500 calorie surplus. Like I'd say 15% is a cap. Realistically maintain 13 to 15% year round. Obviously eat your protein, spread your protein throughout the day, consistently track your weight, track your macros. Obviously you should do that, but I'm just giving you guys the things that you probably do not know. But yeah, that's it for dieting. We'll go home, eat some food, and then I'll talk to you about recovery. Because guys, recovery is key. If you do not recover properly, then you're not going to build muscle, nor are you going to lose fat. There's a lot of habits that everybody does. Probably don't know that you're doing that's affecting your recovery. Recovery, what most of you guys are not doing, is you guys are having caffeine past like what, 5 p.m. and you sleep at like 12. Wake up feeling like terrible, thinking like, oh, why do I not feel good? Because you have caffeine in the evening. It's gonna disrupt your sleep. I'm telling you guys, sleep is an elixir to muscle gain. It's just steroids as natural lifter. Another thing is you gotta sleep at like about the similar time every single day. You're gonna sleep at 12 a.m. one day, and you're gonna be like trying to sleep at 10 for another day. That happens week by week, and then the weeks add up. Guys, if you get 1 day of bad sleep per week, that's like 48 days per year. That's almost a month of bad sleep in terms of muscle growth. Like that adds up over the years. So this is how I escaped the skinny fat jail. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.